Hear me? Hey, everyone. We are live for our webinar tonight. We would love it if you could say hi in the chat box and say where you're from. My name is Gemma. I work at Formula Botanica, and at the moment I am in a very cold and rainy London, like I'm sure some of the rest of you are. In case you don't know who we are, Formula Botanica is the online award-winning and accredited cosmetic science school. And you can find us over at formulabotanica.com. We are opening all of our courses for registration tomorrow. So our term time starts tomorrow and it lasts for a week. So we would love it if you guys checked out our website and checked out our courses. That would be fabulous. And of course, if you've got any questions, you can just ask me on this webinar. Today, we have the lovely Oyeta with us. Oyeta's in Vancouver, Canada. I don't know what the weather's like with you. Looks kind of sunny.
Rainy and cloudy, like London.
Okay. Same as London then. Yay.
Yeah, same as London.
So we're really excited to have Oyeta with us tonight. In case you don't know, Oyeta is the founder and owner of Okoko Cosmetiques, a fabulous brand based in Canada. She is not only business person extraordinaire, but she is also a Formula Botanica graduate. And we're looking forward to chatting to her tonight about her experiences of studying with us, how she got into natural skincare, and what it's like to run an actual successful cosmetic natural brand. So welcome, Oyeta.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited and happy to be here today with you guys.
Can everyone hear us okay? I think so. No one's at the moment said that they can't hear us. And we've got loads of people we've got people from Paris, we've got Mary from Nigeria, Tanya from Portugal. Is someone else from Canada, from New York? Okay, everyone can hear us, I think.
Hi, Tanya. Hi, Timmy.
Yeah, you can see. Yeah, there's Timmy saying hi. Timmy, our education manager. I think that's her. Someone from Indonesia, from Kenya, from Kent, from Maryland. So we've got people from all over the world.
Hello, everyone.
So should we start with our first question for you, Oyeta, which is how did you get into natural beauty and why did you want to start a natural skincare brand?
Okay, so my story is a few years ago. Actually, it started when I immigrated in Canada. I'm actually from Togo, and when I immigrated here, it took me a while to adapt to everything, especially the diet. And I used to have a lot of health problems due to me not being used to the difference in the diet. So I had those problems, and I couldn't find any solutions. I was seeing different doctors. And eventually we found out that the problems I had, the allergies, the skin problems were related to the diet. So I decided to change it. And with the help of a naturopathic doctor, I really improved my lifestyle. And I had like aha moments and I decided to learn more about it. So I enrolled into naturopathic medicine and I learned herbal medicine. And one day during one of our courses, we actually learned basic skincare formulation. And that's when I fell in love. The teacher was simply teaching us how to make simple stuff like a lip balm or a gentle mask for the skin. And all of a sudden I was like, wow. And that's when I really noticed that I love this kind of stuff. So I went home and I started making things by myself in my kitchen, reading books, checking online, and I would share those creations with my friends and family. And they were amazed. They loved it, and they encouraged me to make more. And I kept making more. And at some point, I realized I loved it so much that I wanted to know as much as possible about skincare formulation. So I started researching schools, and I found Formula Botanica. And reading the program, what you guys are offering was exactly what I needed because I already had the passion. I wanted to help people around me. They were loving what I was making, but I wanted to make sure that I was doing it safely. And yeah, that I was making effective products that were well made, following the rules and well preserved, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's a bit about my story. Of course, there's more to it, but yeah.
So that's how you got into it. And then at what point did you decide, man, I wanna design, make, and sell a skincare brand? This is what I'm going to do.
That was a few years ago. I was living in Montreal still. I was giving those products I made to my friends and family for the holidays. So you can see it on my Instagram. I shared the story a little bit. So I made the soap for them, facial cream, balm, lip balm, and they loved it. They were like, "Oh yeah, whatever you're studying right now, this is for you. It's beautiful." And I was just encouraged when you make something from your heart and you give it to people without expecting anything, just because you love them and they enjoyed it and they genuinely see you doing that and they push you. So that's what happened to me. I had that support, people who just loved it. They saw talent, and I was inspired to keep doing it. And at some point I realized, well, I can make a bigger impact. I would love to share my creations with other people, help them with their own skin, because in the beginning it was mostly products just for fun, to
Okay.
as a gift. But eventually I started making more serious skincare that would actually help to address certain skin concerns. So that's when I people really told me, your product, your balm, your little balm has helped me. I felt rewarded, because it's an amazing feeling, and I wanted to do more of it. I wanted to reach more people. So yeah, that's why I decided to launch Okoko.
So how did you come up with the name Okoko?
Okay. I get that question often. It's a good question. So Okoko is a combination of my first and last name, Oyeta Kokoroko. So Kokoroko in our culture in Togo, it actually means strength. Not just physical, but it's holistic strength. So it's a combination of physical strength. When you're healthy, you're strong. Spiritual strength as well, mental strength. And my grandpa was actually nicknamed Okoko in his village, because he was such a strong, wise, strong physically, strong mentally, wise. So they gave him the nickname Kokoroko. And yeah, my dad decided to take it as his last name, and I'm a Kokoroko. And because I love the word strength, it speaks to me as a person. It also speaks to my own story moving here, going through a lot of obstacles, adaptation, diet. So to me, strength is a word that is part of my brand. It's who I am. I'm a strong woman. And yeah, we make beautiful products that are strong in the sense that they're effective, they're potent. Yeah.
Fabulous. So the entire Formula Botanica team have met Oyeta in person because she came to our conference in London in 2016. And whoever was there with us, some of you might be online, had probably met Oyeta as well. And I luckily got to try some of her fabulous products. My favorite is the balm. It's my absolute go-to product for everything. I love it. So do you want to tell us a bit more about the courses that you did with Formula Botanica and how you were able to develop your formulations into what they are now?
So I actually took the entire international organic skincare entrepreneur program. So like everything. I think the only course I haven't taken yet is the hair care course, but
Yes.
it's recent, so I will take it. Yeah, there's so much we can do in a day, right?
Yeah.
Because I loved skincare so much, and it's what I love doing the most. I love researching, I love creating, I love making it. I decided to enroll in the entire program so I could learn everything. And in the program, we actually learned everything. We learned basic skincare formulation, which is important. Ingredients knowledge, and that's the core of formulation, understanding your ingredient, how to formulate with them, compatibility, but also I also enjoy the course of natural preservation, and I feel that it has helped me a lot. And that's where we make a difference between someone who's a DIYer. Is that a word you can?
Yes. Yeah. DIY. Yeah.
Yeah, and studying professional skincare formulation, because especially if you want to launch your business or sell your products, it's important to really understand how to make products safely, effectively, and have good manufacturing practice. So for me, enrolling into the entire program was a great investment, because I knew I would learn everything that I need to know to be in business, but also while making sure that I'm selling products that are safe, and that I'm also taking care of my customers' safety. I would say another course that I really enjoyed was the anti-aging course, where we
Yes.
actually learn how to the advanced skincare formulation course and the anti-aging skincare course are two of my favorites, because then we really learn how to create more complex formulas, how to work more effectively with preservatives, and that's something I would say I really mastered in the last couple years. Preservatives, I didn't know that they were so important, but yeah, I think if you want to become a professional skincare formulator, it's really important to take a solid class. And I feel this is what I got. You know, solid courses, great knowledge. You know, knowing how to formulate professional grade products, and yeah, make products that my customers love.
Yeah, yeah. So it's been really successful for you so far. And Oyeta is still a big part of our community. I mean, she's always in our Facebook group, supporting other students, giving her advice, which is great. So, I've got quite a few questions coming through for you. So, before we move on to what it's like running a skincare business, let's just address some of those things. So, let me go to the bottom. And Thea has said, I'm also very interested in herbal medicine. Do you feel that your knowledge in herbal medicine influenced your products?
Um, I would say yes and no. It depends what you are trying to achieve. I definitely think that it's great as an extra, because if you want to include a lot of herb, plant-based, you want to create plant-based skincare products. Yes, it's important to
Yeah.
have a background in herbal medicine. It's going to bring you far. Or even, you know, if it's just to give tips to your customers, or so I definitely think this is good and it has helped me. Even though I decided to go a little further than that and to add cosmeceuticals, active ingredients in our products, I still think that having another background such as aromatherapy, herbal medicine, even nutrition is great, because it's going to help you. And in the case of herbal medicine, if you want to use a lot of herb in your products, yes, it's going to be amazing. You will be able to teach your customers about their properties and send out even more, because you're adding that knowledge to what you're learning already, how to make skincare.
Great. Okay, so Brooke has asked the question, how much did it cost you for supplies and ingredients before your launch? Um, and how many products did you launch initially?
Okay, so while I was studying with Formula Botanica, even before, I used to spend all my um, wage on on ingredients. To be honest, my boyfriend was like, "Are you serious? Everything you paid, you just use it to buy more and more ingredients." I was like, "Yeah." I just thought I was, yeah, my money would go not for buying clothes or high heels, ingredients all the time. So I would say I spend a lot. I'm not sure if you want to know how much I spent before launching the business, or when I was just studying and practicing.
Well, I suppose it's an interesting question because, when you're doing the courses, obviously you have to make an investment in ingredients to practice, and we kind of give a guideline for people that you invest kind of about what half of what you spend on course fees you'll spend on ingredients, because as Oyeta knows, there will be lots of disasters in the formulating kitchen, and there'll be ups and downs. So you'll need a lot of investment before you actually launch your business. But I think Brooke is asking maybe when you launched, I guess when you finalized your products.
Well, I would say before you launch your business, you need to be ready to invest at least in the four figures. Um, like working with ingredients, understanding how they work. This is if you really, really want to like work with different ingredients, formulate a lot. So yeah, I think that would be something to expect depending on the level, to which you want to go. But for me was that
Yeah.
because I just wanted to work as much with as many ingredients as possible to really understand my craft.
And then she did ask, how many products did you launch with initially?
Initially, it was four products: two facial masks, a serum, and a facial oil.
Oh, yes.
Um, yeah, so those were the first products. And after that, I got to know my customers more. I asked them, I did a lot of service to understand. Sorry, the guy behind is
It doesn't matter.
my
I recognize him from the conference.
yeah, he's always there with me. So, what was I saying? Um,
Products. So you launched your first 4, yeah.
and after that, I did a lot of service to get to know my customers more. I asked them what products they would like to see in the future, and based on their feedback, I started kind of taking a new direction with Okoko.
Yeah, and then you launched did you launch the balm?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
balm, which is
Yeah,
very,
which is
very
fabulous.
popular.
Yeah. So Amanda has asked, do you need a formal qualification to work in the industry?
Um, I no. I mean, it's being a formulator is like an artist. You know, you're a maker. It's a talent. It's like a photographer, graphic designer. They don't need necessarily a formal education to be talented and successful. I work with photographers that haven't studied photography in
Yeah.
university, but they love doing it and they're talented. So no, I don't think you need a formal education if you want to make skincare, but you do need a solid training. That's the
Yeah.
difference. Yeah, you
Yeah,
do
you
need
need
to
to understand, like you say, yeah,
yeah,
preservative, how to calculate a formula, how to scale up your formulas.
to scale
Um,
up. And if you do have a formal education, I think it's just a great plus. You know, good for you. But I wouldn't say it's necessary to launch your skincare business.
yeah, I mean, I don't think there is actually that many places that offer a formal qualification other than like if you went to university to study cosmetic chemistry, I guess. But in terms of natural and organic formulation, it's just they're training courses that teach you how to formulate rather than giving you a qualification as such, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
that makes sense.
Okay. So Inna has asked, do you sell your products outside of Canada?
Yeah. So I sell my products right now in Canada, USA, also in Macau and Hong Kong, which is one of our biggest markets. To my surprise, I never thought, but it is the case. We also sell in Europe. So we don't sell internationally yet, but we sell in several countries, and I hope in 2018 there will be more.
Yay. Giselle has asked, do you use dried or fresh herbs in your products?
I actually use dried herbs. So we buy the dried herbs and we basically grind them with like a coffee grinder
Yeah.
and use them in the products. I feel if you buy fresh herbs, it's good, but it's an extra step. So you need to have enough space to dry them, and you need to go through another process. If you do have your own herbs that you're growing in your garden and you want to use them, I think that's fine. But because it's not the case for me, I buy them dry already and then grind them. Yeah.
Nice. So Tanika has asked, what marketing methods worked best for finding your customers?
Okay, so I love that part. There are several different marketing methods depending on what you're comfortable with. First off, I would say you need to be out there on social media. And when I say that, what I mean is that your customers are there. In my case, for example, I find Instagram first and Facebook second are the best social media for my brand. So I like to engage a lot with the people. To find them, first off, I would say you would need to do a lot of research. Create yourself an account on social media and start following blogs, bloggers, even brands that you like and learning from them, and start engaging with people. For example, once you find a blogger that you like, don't be afraid to engage and respond to her posts. They like to talk to their followers, so engage with her because you're going to get to know her, she'll get to know you. And at some point, if you have a good connection with that person, they can also help you to while you're creating a new product with information regarding what they think is needed, or just they can help you review it and then introduce it to their own audience, which is also great for you. So I would say to find your first customers, after you launched or before, because that would be two different strategy. Um,
So I guess maybe you can talk about both briefly.
okay, I would say to find your customers before you launch is different than after because um, there's a difference between what you do before you're in business and when you're actually in business. Things are not the same, and this is something I learned. What I mean is, when I launched Okoko, I had an idea of my ideal customer, and as I progress with my brand today, almost a year and a half later, I would say that my ideal customer is not exactly who I thought she was in the beginning. You see, it has changed, it has evolved. With the conversation that I had with my customers, I realized that they were not exactly who I thought. They were different kind of people, and what they wanted was also something um, not different, but something more clear than what I envisioned. So I would say don't stress yourself with that if you haven't launched yet. The best way to find your first customers would be to just put yourself out there on social media. I've seen some of my friends, such as Parul. She started her YouTube
Yes, she
channel.
did.
She's great, and I think that's an amazing way to find them because they're gonna watch what you post, learn from you. They're gonna connect with you and chat with you. And when you're actually ready to launch your product, you have people and audience that you grew already ready to buy from you because they've seen you, evolve, make your products. They've seen what you had to share, and they trust you, so they're ready to buy. So I would say follow these people such as Parul. I hope I'm saying it right.
Yes,
Uh,
Pearl. Yeah.
don't be afraid to share your knowledge. It can be through starting your own YouTube channel, starting a blog, or just skincare formulation website, or just talking about your journey with Formula Botanica. Um, don't think right away, I want customers. No, you want to build an audience first, and then that audience will become your supporters, and from that audience you will have customers as well. So first think audience, and the rest will come. Yeah.
Oh, that's great advice. So we've got loads of questions, and actually one of the things I wanted to ask Goyeta was about, what it takes to run a successful skincare brand. And actually, we had a question from Mary, which feeds into this nicely. She said, "Hello, Oyeta. My name is Mary from Nigeria. How were you able to deal with the pressure that comes with starting your own skincare line?"
That's a good question. The pressure is still there every day. Every day. There will always be pressure, I think, but I'm not the only one. I think every brand founder deal with pressure. When we talk about pressure, it could be everything. It's putting yourself out there. It's not easy. It requires courage because you people will judge based on what they see, not on they don't know you necessarily personally. People will they may you have to be ready that not everybody will love all your products all the time. So
Mhm.
don't want I see people being so anxious about it. Oh, I want everybody to love everything I make. I'm so stressed if they don't. And I would say don't aim to you guys said, if you market to everybody, you're marketing to no one. So just think about why you're doing it. Do it with a genuine heart. Try to provide the best you can. Think about your ideal customer, the one you're truly trying to serve. um, and regarding the pressure, I would say I find my own ways to deal with it. I try to keep myself to do to go to the gym, and that helps me just to reduce the pressure. Sometimes it's great also to have people to talk to, friends, your partner. I'm not sure I can give like a best advice
No,
for that.
yeah.
Everybody has their own way to deal with it. But yeah, the pressure it is there, but I don't think you're alone. All of us, we live it. Another way is I keep in touch with some of my Formula Botanica fellow formulators who've become friends, and we just chat from time to time. Yelena, I don't know if you're there, but we
I
chatted
think
last
she
week.
is. I think she is because I was looking at my Instagram. I had all these messages coming through, and I'm pretty sure Yelena had
Yelena,
said
she's there.
that
Uh,
she is on. Yeah, and she said, "I heard Oyeta's coming to the conference this year."
I am, and I can't wait to see you guys. So, chatting with other brand founders, entrepreneurs, Formula Botanica students also helped me because then you're talking to someone who understand what it feels like, or at least we can share, I would say, different emotions, a little bit of support system. So it's great to find a couple people that you like, that you can, exchange with and just support one another, because that will really, really help you. It's not going to be easy, but you got to have the mindset, and then you can do it.
Great. Okay, so I've got a question from Irena that was asking about, as I understand, you make your products by hand. Do you have a certified lab, or yeah, I'm not quite sure what the question is exactly, but I guess she's asking about when you make it by hand, do you have to do it in a specific space, or what do you do when you make it by hand?
Okay, so we don't have a certified lab. So what we do is our products are made in a studio that we rent in Vancouver, and a industrial kitchen. So it's made for that. But because things were scaling up and the quantities are becoming bigger than I anticipated, this spring we're going to be moving into our first shop. So I'm really, really excited.
Yeah, oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, I'm really happy because we're growing. Yeah, so I decided to start small because when you're starting, the investment can be limited.
Mm-hmm.
So start the way you can, find yourself. Some people have labs, studios, rentals for that, and then as things go, then think about, depending on your business model, evolving differently. But in my case, it's going to be a shop in Vancouver. Yeah.
Yay. So yeah, you also started work with spas, didn't you?
Yeah.
How did you do that?
Um, so how did you do that? Do you want to know like how it happened?
Well, yeah, I mean, when were you thinking, okay, I want to stock my products in spas? I mean, was it like a natural evolution after you started the brand, or was it did someone approach you and say, oh, yes, we love your products, we want them in our spa?
Both. So yeah. So I've always wanted to work with spas because I think in my case, with the type of products that Okoko makes, spas are our ideal customers. Again, every business is different, and we're all going to have a different business model and ideal customer. Uh,
Yeah.
in my case, my products are great for spas because we sell facial masks, scrubs, and other products that you might find in a spa, and more about relaxation, addressing your skin concerns. So right from the beginning, I knew I wanted to attract spa. So already, if you know in the beginning who you want to attract, that's going to, yeah, it's going to play a role because you might end up attracting those people. If spas are not for you, that's okay. So in the beginning, I knew I wanted a spa, and at some point, one of them just noticed us on social media, and they contacted me for, to retail the products, and this is how it started. So I would say the first spa partnership, maybe I got a little lucky, but it's the person just noticed Okoko on social media. That's why I think it's important to be active on social media and to not be afraid to talk about what you do, your passion, share your beautiful products, because somebody somewhere is watching and will find that what you do is a great fit for them. And yeah, you're gonna have a beautiful surprise then.
Yay. We we have a question about there's something very specific to Canada, I guess, about what would you say are the first steps to get your products approved by Health Canada?
So the requirements here are not as tight as in other countries, such as the EU.
Mm.
So here you have to follow the requirements that Health Canada gives us. Basically, register your product, the ingredients, and the ratio. So that's basically what we need to do, and making sure that we're not using any ingredients that is prohibited, or if some ingredients are actually controlled, you have to make sure you're respecting the recommended percentage by Health
Mhm.
Canada. So I think it's all about, if you go on Health Canada website, they're actually explaining in details how to do this. They're explaining the ingredients that are prohibited, the ones that are, you have to respect a certain dosage, and also how to register your product with them. So it's quite simple. Everything is explained on their website. And once you have your product ready for sale, you just need to register it a little bit like you would do when you're doing your EU, the name, the ingredients, the dosage, and your company. So I find it much simpler than doing your EU, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, the EU is obviously a bit more complex, and if you guys had any questions about that, you could always join our Facebook group at the Skincare Entrepreneur Mastermind, or you can drop us an email at hello@formulabotanica.com. But one of the things that we teach on the course is how, in our diploma in organic skincare formulation, is how to comply with all of the global cosmetics regulations. So we cover most countries. Right. I have a question about how long did it take you to create your first line of products?
So I would say that it took me about a couple years before I actually decided to go ahead and share it with the world. So what I mean is that I work initially on the formulations. Some of them I still have them. I've never launched them. Maybe in the future we'll see them. Uh, so in my formulation book, I had all the formulas of the products that I wanted to share with the world. And after initially creating them, uh, I stopped and forgot about it, before I decided to go ahead and launch Okoko. So I would say it took me about 2 years. But depending on what you're creating, it can be less than that, definitely.
Yeah, I think that's quite unique, isn't it?
Yeah.
To
And that's also
all the
because I didn't
individuals.
have the experience that I have today. So obviously, in the beginning, it takes more time because you have to go through the trial and errors and the learning process. Yeah.
Yeah, like if you're making balms, you have to make sure they're not grainy. And Oyeta recently sent us a whole load of balms over from Canada, and I'm happy to say that they're all non-grainy. So they even they even went, through all these different continents and over the sea to get to us, and they pass through loads of different temperature regions, and they're all fine. So you did well.
Oh wow, you guys! I'm
You
very happy
know,
to hear that.
yeah, they're amazing. They still, are completely functional, which is great. Um, right, I think we have. Do you manufacture your packaging locally or internationally?
The packaging, so we use mirror glass jars and bottles. Um, I'm sure you know them. A lot of brands use them. So uh, depending where you are living, there's different companies that can sell them to you. In North America, I deal with Mirror Glass Company. They're based in California, but I know that Mirror Glass is also based, I believe, in Germany and Australia. So in the packaging, they're the ones providing us the jars and the bottles. Then the labels are actually printed locally, and the box packaging is printed in the US. But I'll tell you, if you're able, try as much as possible to keep those type of costs local because it gets very expensive when you source them internationally and you have to add the currency change, the duties, and so on. It's
Yes.
a lot. So if you can try to start at least local for what you're able to get. Yeah.
I have a question about, then this is an interesting question because it came up a lot at our conference. How do you go about sourcing your ingredients?
Okay, where do we start?
Yeah, this is not a simple question.
Simple question. There's lots to talk about. Um, so first off, my ingredients. So usually when I make a product, I'm gonna start with what is the product for? What is the purpose? Are we making a cleanser, a balm, a facial oil? Let's say we're making a facial oil and for to help with acne. So then I'm gonna research which ingredients would be beneficial for that product. Uh, if we want a facial oil that will help for acne prone skin, then we might want to pick oils that are anti-inflammatory, low comedogenic as well, oils that help to balance sebum, or such as what is the name? I forgot the name in English. Oils that are just going to help um, promote the skin natural healing, or that might have a little bit of antibacterial benefits. So once I chose the ingredients, I'm gonna search which suppliers might have them based on different criteria. In the case of oils, you want them to be organic, unrefined as much as possible, fresh, of course. So I'm going to pick my supplier depending on the ingredient. Is it an oil? Is it an active ingredient? Depending also on, there's a lot that goes into it. You know, the pricing, the freshness. Are they able to give me the necessary documents such as MSDS and certificate of analysis? Before I understood how important those documents were, I would just, you know, buy ingredients from a supplier who would be the most convenient to me. But once you understand that, or if you plan on doing your EU, I would tell you in advance from the moment, even now, even though you're not selling anything, you have to start asking suppliers for MSCS, certificate of analysis. You have to start reading them and understanding them, because they're going to help you a lot. Not only you will have a knowledge how to use that ingredient, how to formulate with it, what's inside, because some ingredient might be preserved already, or they might have other components in them.
Yeah.
That's why it's important to have those documents and to make sure you find suppliers that can provide you with that, because some suppliers don't, they don't send you certificate of analysis. Therefore, how can we guarantee that it's really what they're saying it is? So I think, to sum it up, you know, when I source my ingredients, I start with, you know, like writing the formula, researching, finding which ingredients are going to be useful for the product. Then I have to select suppliers, the best one for that specific ingredient based on different requirements. We have natural, organic, pure, you know, documents provided. And I also make sure we don't test on animals, because that's important for me. A lot of brands say cruelty free, but there is a difference. You can be cruelty free because your finished products are not tested, but the ingredients might be tested on animals, and that's where we need to keep an eye out. So I really make sure to have that conversation with the suppliers to make sure that the ingredients we're selling are also cruelty free. So I think finding suppliers is an ongoing research,
Yes.
because you always want to make sure they're providing you with the best, fresh, potent, effective ingredient possible. And you always want to make sure that the batch you receive, the load number you receive, is also consistent. And if it doesn't happen, you gotta keep searching. So this is a great challenge for all small artisanal, you know, brands, finding the right suppliers. So don't be afraid. Start today, because you're gonna be doing it all the time. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That's great advice. I've got a question here from Andrea saying, Oyeta, what are your top 3 ingredients and why?
Wow. Okay, I was not expecting that question. My top 3 ingredients. I would say tomato oil. For sure has to be there. Because it's an amazing ingredient. It's rich in antioxidants. It can be used in different, all kind of products, facial oils, serums, balms. It's great for skin defense. Tomato oil is rich in lycopene, which is the component that gives the red color, you know, to tomatoes, for example. So in terms of antioxidant protection, I find that it's an amazing ingredient for that. It's also very popular in anti-aging skincare products. So if you're making a anti-aging facial oil, or anything that is supposed to help with skin defense, protection, I think tomato oil is an amazing ingredient for that. And there's also research that show how effective it is before sun exposure as well, meaning that it's going to help. I'm not saying that don't use sun protection, no, but if you have a product that is meant to help with that, tomato oil is an amazing ingredient to have. So I love it. I think it's versatile. It's nutritious. It has a beautiful color. So it's one of the ingredients I fell in love in the last year, and I'll be using it more in the products that we have, our next products. Yeah.
So that's number 1.
Okay. Number
Number two.
yeah, okay. Number two, I would say would be um an ingredient that is not as well known. And those who follow me on social media, you might have heard me talking about it. I would say it's bakuchiol, basically. Bakuchiol, it's derived from a plant called bachi seed. So it's a plant found in India, and it's basically extracted in labs, a, a concentrated extract. And the reason why I love it, it's because it's known to be a natural alternative to retinol. What happened is my customers asked me to create a retinol serum, and after researching retinol, the different version, I saw there was some studies basically explaining that it's effective. So that's, yeah, it is known to be effective. However, it's not convenient for pregnant women and people who have sensitive skin. When you use it regularly over time, your skin might become sensitive to it. So for those reasons, I decided not to use retinol as an active, and I started seeking a natural alternative, and I found bakuchiol. Not only it has similar benefits, but it can also be used by pregnant women, people with sensitive skin, and it's been shown in the clinical studies to help boost the efficacy of retinol serums. So to me, it's what I call a smart ingredient, because then again, it's still natural. It's basically derived from the seeds of the bachi plant, um, but it is effective. So it provides you the benefits of the synthetic version, and to me, it was just a perfect fit. So it's another star ingredient. Yeah.
Number three, the final one.
Ooh, the final one. Okay, okay. I know some of you are thinking about it, but I have to say it. I'm gonna say dragon's blood extract.
Yay! I was waiting to see if you were gonna mention it.
I know you were thinking about it. I think everybody heard me saying it all the time. Dragon's blood, dragon's blood. I love it for many reasons because first off, it's unusual, and I find sometimes it's good to be a little extravagant, to use those beautiful, maybe not common ingredients because not only it's a great way to stand out, and plus that ingredient has amazing properties. So for those who don't know, dragon's blood extra is the name of a tree that we find in Peru. And when you cut the tree, there's a red sap inside. I wish I could show you, but I don't have the picture with me right now. And so inside the tree, you have a red sap, and it's known to have amazing healing properties. It helps with wounds, small bites such as mosquito bites. It's also firming, and it helps to reduce imperfections on the skin as well. So I tried it, and I loved it so much that I decided to create a serum with that special ingredient. And now I found a version that is soluble in shea butter and argan oil, and we're hoping to use that in future products that are made without water. So it's an amazing ingredient. I think you should look it up. Yeah.
Yay! Those are great ingredients. You can see that you've really done your research, which is great.
Yeah.
Right, I'm trying to read all these questions. We've got loads. So Amanda has said, how did you know that Formula Botanica was the best place to study formulations, as nowadays there are so many different companies running similar courses? That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say it's because their courses are well taught, and very um, they're convenient to what we need to learn today. What I mean is I checked other schools, and a lot of these schools they have, yeah, they seem to have great courses, but I'm not sure it's complete. They might address one or two things. With Formula Botanica, I feel they have, if you're interested to really, really like me, learn everything about it and know how to make, awesome products with confidence. You want to you want to go with a school that has, you know, a program that is complete, that basically teaches you everything. And that's why I love Formula Botanica, because I learned a little bit of everything. Basic skincare formulation, and this is good if you're a newbie, you're just starting, you don't have a lot of knowledge. So you have a basic course Then, if you love masking, and everybody loves masking, you have a course where you're taught how to create mask without water and also with water, or even mask, balm mask. So I like the diversity in the courses. Anti-aging, anti-aging skincare products are very hot and very popular. I love the fact that they offer a training how to make those products, which actives, to look for if you want to create an anti-aging products. Um, Natural preservation. So that's another hot course that they're offering that I haven't seen a lot of other schools offering. And if you've been checking Instagram, the things that are being said about other bigger brands is that a lot of them I realize don't have proper skincare knowledge when it comes, for example, to preservation. I've seen products being sold with molds and bacteria, and things can happen, of course, to all of us. But when I saw that, I was thinking, thank God it's not me. I don't want that to happen.
No.
And then we found out that the founder didn't even have proper skincare formulation knowledge. And I think at this point, it touches your reputation. So you do want to pick a very serious school. You want to make sure that you do your homework and that, yes, you understand how to make products safely to avoid this type of event that can be bad for your business, for your name, for your reputation, for your brand, because all you need is one customer take a screenshot and
Yeah. Game over.
no,
Yeah.
no, game over. So I like the fact that Formula Botanica really offers, um, different courses that are diverse, detailed. Um, it teaches you what you need to know to be confident in today's, competitive industry. You even have an advanced skincare formulation course, and this was one of my favorites because then you go from there to there. It's a different level. You really learn how to make professional grade skincare product that will wow people. And if you're invested, I think at the end what you get is amazing for your investment. You can be hired by other businesses to create products for them. You can share your knowledge with the world and stand out as someone who knows their stuff, not a DIYer, not just a blogger or someone who just makes it in his kitchen, but as a serious skincare formulator. And this is what you want to become, seriously. Yeah.
Great, great answer. I'm glad you really enjoy the courses because we do put a lot of effort into researching them, designing them, and there's a whole team of us that work really hard into trying to provide a really good quality
And
course for everyone that signs up.
yeah, I love all the resources you guys share, dermal limits, how to work with essential oils, how
Mm.
to make cream, for example, the videos that you're offering. Not all this, actually, the other school don't have so much content, I would say. Yeah, content is another something else I really enjoy with Formula Botanica. The richness in information, knowledge. We have a lot of sheets and that we can go back to in PDF. Again about dermal limits, how to use certain ingredients, how to make a cream, and being able to see that visually. So I love all the efforts you guys put into making sure that we're well trained and we can also become versatile formulators. And I think that this is what you get with Formula Botanica.
Thank you. You can also check out our Trustpilot site if you want some more reviews. Trustpilot.com/Formula Botanica. You can have a look. Just some other questions that are coming through. So there's two questions that I want to cover that's come up a lot. One is, how do you correctly price your products? Do you have any advice for people? And the second one is your experiences working with subscription boxes.
Okay. How do I price my products? So we actually use a software called Price-O-Matic from Lucky Break Consulting. Uh, I don't know if you guys know Leela. She's the owner of Lucky Break Consulting and one of my mentors as well. And I absolutely love her. If I may, I think that she's the perfect fit to what we learned with Formula Botanica on the business side. Every all my business questions, she was able to help me with it. So she has a software called Price-O-Matic, which basically um, helps you to cost your products. You can enter the cost of your raw material, the cost of your packaging, the cost of production costs, every single thing, your labels, every ingredients, shipping. You put everything in, and um, well, it's a little more complex than that, but it's going to basically help you figure out how much you should price your product. So retail pricing as well as wholesale pricing. And the software is so amazing that it also helps you to figure out if a product is actually selling. Is it making you money, or are you losing money with that product, and make better decisions for your business? Because not every product we're going to launch are going to be best sellers. You might end up realizing that a product you launch is actually not making you money, and you're actually wasting your money trying to produce more of it. And that software, Price-O-Matic, really helps you to figure those things out and make important decisions for your business. So every time we want to create a new product, I make sure to enter all the information there, the cost of the raw material, the packaging, the label, my time to make the products, even
Yeah.
the time it took you to formulate and develop it should be taken into account. So she really helps you to take into account everything that has to do with the launch of that product. At the end, you can see how much it costs you, how much you've put into the business to create it, and how much you should charge to make your money back, and in how long you will make your money back. So it's that detailed. You really have very detailed information about your product, even how long it will take you to make your money back. And this is why I'm saying it's amazing is before you make a product, you do want to know how much it's going to cost you, how much you should sell it for, whether or not you can sell it for that price, and how long it will take you to make your money back. If it tells you it's going to take you 2 years and a half to make your money back on one product, you might think about it twice before creating it. So Price-O-Matic, check it out. It's an amazing, and I think it's worth investment.
Great. Okay, so next question, subscription boxes. Do you like them?
So I've worked with one subscription box so far called Botanic and Tear. And another one in the United States just contacted us to be in their box this year. I don't want to reveal the name yet, but
No, keep it your secret.
It's a well-known beauty box. I would say that I love them because they do help with exposure. Because they usually have a big audience, so they will help to put your products in front of the faces of the people you're trying to sell to. So they're gonna help you to get exposure, to be known, to create buzz around your brand and your products. This being said, usually you have to be ready that in return of the advertisement they're going to do for you, they might either want products for free or for a certain cost, and it's not something like production cost. So you want to think about it if it's something you want to do or not. There's also the amount of units they might need. Some beauty box might need 100, 200 units. Other beauty box might want actually thousands of them. Are you able to provide thousands of products for free in return of advertisement? Think about it. Or are you able to provide them in return of, they're going to pay the production cost? Is that something viable for your business or not? So I would say beauty boxes, I like them because they help with exposure. I wouldn't do too much of it. For me, one a year is enough, because again, it's it's taking in your profits as well, because you don't sell it retail to the beauty boxes. So you got to think about it. If you want the exposure and you can provide those units, and you and the beauty box have an understanding, that's good. A lot of times they're open to actually, paying for the product. So you can negotiate and find an amount per unit that is convenient for both. So if you're starting, I think a beauty box can be good if you're able to, like I said, if it makes sense to your business, if you're able to to send those products in return for advertisement or a certain cost, if that's viable for you. Yeah.
Great. We've had quite a few questions.
Okay.
So quite a few people asking questions about how many people work with you.
Right now, I would say 4.
4. Is that
Yeah,
including you?
including me. Yeah, yeah. So a year and a half, I started just me and Trevor helping me as well. But things have evolved since then. And today I cannot do it alone because there's just too much to do. And at some point, you will, if your business get there, you will be able to start, you know, having people come and help delegating some of the work to them. And now I'm at a point where I have two beautiful ladies who help me as well, and they're actually going to be starting their training with Formula Botanica soon. So I can't wait
Yay.
to introduce you to them. So yeah, so far we work all together. It's great for them because they're seeing what happens behind the scenes. They're learning with me about how to run this business, how to make skincare, even though they don't formulate it. So it's great. For now, I'm training them, and they're part of the team, and I appreciate the help that I'm getting.
We've had quite a few people. Sorry, I'm listening to Oyeta. I'm reading your questions. I'm trying to make sure we ask everyone's questions. It's just not going to be possible because we've only got 5 minutes left. But people are asking, what was the name of the pricing software you mentioned?
Okay, Price-O-Matic.
So price and then O and then Matic.
Yeah. So if you type Price-O-Matic and then you type Lucky Break Consulting, you will find it. I don't know if I can write it in the chat
It's
section.
okay. Yeah, Lucky Break Consulting. Okay, I
On
put
their
it
website,
in.
I'm gonna miss it. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So other people have put it in there. Okay, great. What were the biggest obstacles you found in starting your brand, and what would be your greatest advice for any startup or new formulator?
My greatest obstacle. That's a good question. Um, hmm. There've been lots of them. To be honest, uh, there isn't the greatest. Hmm. Any idea? The greatest. Oh, no. Time management.
Yeah.
Time management, yeah, because you know there's so much you can do in a day. Usually, the last few months, for a while I was waking at 4:35 a.m. to be able to do more because we had so much to do, and I'll go to bed around midnight. So you know I had very short sleep, so I tried to to find as much time as I could. But really, when you're starting on your own and you have a very small team, you gotta make sure to manage your time because there's gonna be a lot of things to do. You're probably gonna be doing a lot yourself as well, and you're gonna find that the day goes by really fast. So you know, now what I do is I have a plan in my agenda. You know what needs to be done when, so I can be more efficient that way. So I would say one of the main obstacle is time management. Um, then I would say finding the right people to work with. Uh, and I'm including bloggers. I work a lot with bloggers because I love them. I've made some amazing friends who've helped me, and I'm very happy to support them today. But sometimes working with bloggers, it's a little bit like trial and errors. So you're gonna have to go through. You might need to go through several different people to really find your own uh, the best fit for you. So I had to be patient because not every collaboration is going to be, you know, how can I say it, as is expected, but you gotta keep going. So I would say finding, you know, your entourage, your support system, the people you're gonna work with is also a little bit of a challenge. Um, and lastly, I would say really understanding how to work with your partners, your stockists, and your retailers, understanding how they think, what they need, and really how to make sure this partnership works. So it's not always going to be perfect or easy. It's a learning process for me. I had to learn a lot about what they want, how they think, and yeah, how to make them happy because there are certain rules that you have to be aware of. I'm happy to talk about those rules.
Sorry, I think I disappeared slightly. Something's gone on with my webcam. I don't really know what happened there. Can you still hear me, everyone?
I can hear you.
Okay, great. Yeah, for some reason my webcam just went off. That is very strange. Um, I can see that Lorraine is in there asking questions at the moment,
Lauren.
answering some questions. Because
Comment.
I know people. Okay, yes, everyone, I'm back on. Yay! We are getting to the point now where we have to wrap up with the lovely Oyeta, unfortunately.
Okay.
But you can very easily contact us at hello@formulabotanica.com. And you can check out our Facebook group, the Skincare Entrepreneur Mastermind. I know, unfortunately, you can't see me. I've had some sort of webcam malfunction. I don't know what's happened with that. Sorry about that, guys. But I just wanted to say thank you, Oyeta, for joining us. We're really proud to have you as our graduate, and we are so glad to have a continued relationship with you. And Lorraine and I are so excited always to see what you're doing, what your next plans are, and you know.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure today.
And Oyeta did let slip that she is coming to our conference in 2018 this year. Yay!
Yeah.
So we absolutely cannot wait to see her again, and we'll be giving you all the details about the conference shortly. And again, if you want to enroll with us, we open enrollment for our courses tomorrow, and yeah, get in contact anytime you need us to ask us any questions. So thank you, Oyeta. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me here today, and I hope I was able to provide valuable information. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to connect with me on social media. I'm always happy to help.
Yeah, what are your social media handles?
Okoko Cosmetiques on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, and Oyeta Catherine on Instagram as well, or Facebook.
Great. Right. Thanks, Oyeta, and thank you everyone for joining us. We really appreciate all your questions. So thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.